I just saw Joker. The Joker, aka DC Universe as directed by Martin Scorsese, aka a movie that's guaranteed to inspire another generation of angry white people to take up guns and commit mass shootings for tells. At least that's what one guy was insisting. Okay. I'm just gonna leave my politics at the door. I mean, I generally try to stay as apolitical as humanly possible when it comes to these reviews, but unless there's a possibility where, a cheap shot can be made and I just have to take it, or if the movie has a political message and I'm trying to think whether or not this message is compatible with my political views, and given the current state of Hollywood and how PC culture has taken over everything and we all gotta be super sensitive to everybody except Donald Trump because fuck that guy, you know. I'm just going to stay as apolitical as humanly possible when it comes to these reviews. That being said, the ending to this movie, should I even tell you what it is? Because on one hand, it's a spoiler, but on the other hand, the Joker is a prequel. Joker is basically the origin story of, well, the Joker, you know? It's like, you already know that he becomes a bad guy, and you already know that he becomes the embodiment of chaos as far as Gotham City is concerned. So it's like, how much of this am I even spoiling? Well, suffice to say, that was not the direction I was expecting them to take. I was kind of figuring the gang of angry homicidal clowns would be reserved for when they decided to make Batman Beyond a movie, but yeah, I don't think that's going to be happening anytime soon. So they decided to give the Joker an origin story, and a lot of people have been saying that's a terrible idea because the Joker has no origin story, or if he does have an origin story, he's telling you the wrong origin story because he's the Joker. Chaos! And the Joker just kills random people. He's just some random lunatic who does things because chaos! And I'm gonna find a third way to work chaos into this because that's just, you know what, I already spoiled. Again, we go to the two hands here, because on one hand, I kind of see what a lot of people are saying, because an origin story usually kind of takes away from the mystique, and you could easily argue that the people who made Joker basically did to the Joker what Rob Zombie did to Halloween. Translation, not very good. On the other hand, well, how do you know that this is the actual origin story? How do you know that this isn't just like a hallucination within the Joker's mind trying to piece together an origin story? Because apparently he's done that before. I don't know. Joaquin Phoenix is the Joker, which, along with the fact that the Joker has an origin story, is another thing that had the world kind of going, huh? I admit I did not see Joaquin Phoenix making a very convincing Joker, but then I watched this movie and I gotta say, he's probably the best thing about this movie. If it's not him, then hands down it's the music score. I mean, they do have some songs, like, you know, they have the da-da-da-da, hey, da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da, hey. During one montage, they have My Name is Carnival as a song, you know. They do have stuff like that. But I'm talking about, like, the general, like, stings, or, like, the music they play during the transition between scenes, where it's just violin music that just gives Gotham City this very noir sort of streak to it that a city like Gotham really deserves, you know what I'm saying? Couple it with the fact that there's clearly a garbage strike going and Gotham looks even more... I can't remember the last time I ever saw Gotham looking this crappy. The movie also features Robert De Niro as a talk show host. I'm trying to think of what his name was here. I want to say it was like Murphy Franklin or Mumphrey Franklin or something like that. And people have been saying that this movie is basically the king of comedy starring the Joker. And while that is not what I would say inaccurate, I would say that the king of comedy was not nearly as dark and not nearly as serious. Like, I mean, it has its moments of darkness, but then you get to the Joker where it's like they're just trying to pile on as much darkness as they possibly can. And to the point where it's like, geez, how much more can life take a dump on this one guy? I mean, I've seen British comedies that don't take this big of a dump on its protagonist. At least theirs is a punchline. I've seen this movie getting pretty much the ultimate definition of mixed reviews. You either love this movie or you hate it. No middle ground whatsoever. And honestly, I liked it. It was pretty good. This was way better than I was expecting. I mean, I go into this movie admitting that I kept my expectations low. I don't want to be that guy who naysays a movie because it's DC Comics or gives it an instant 4 out of 4 because, you know, Marvel. In fact, I don't even really like superhero movies all that much anymore. I'm getting so burnt out on them all, and it's just whatever. But the Joker is actually really, really good, I thought. I won't be surprised if I'm part of some sort of fringe minority when it comes to the Joker, because honestly, I've seen some of my favorite YouTubers who talk about movies just basically take a massive taco dump on this movie, and I'm not saying I disagree with some of their points, but honestly, this movie was pretty good, I thought. I enjoyed it. This was the kind of movie that I was not expecting from, like, any comic book company. Marvel, DC, Image, Dark Horse. Those are the only 4 I know of. But you know what I mean. This is kind of the movie you really have to see for yourself to formulate an opinion. Like, I've got my opinion, but the polarization that this movie has caused in the span of one weekend, it definitely convinces me that while I do have my opinion, and this YouTuber here has his opinion, and that YouTuber over there has her opinion, you know, maybe you're just better off seeing this movie for yourself and formulating your own opinion. However, if you're the kind of guy who depends on people like me to tell you what to think, I'll be more than glad to tell you. Go see this movie. Overall, I give Joker 3 hats out of 4. And that's going to do it for this review. Be sure to do the YouTube shuffle. That's like, comment, subscribe, and check out any of my other videos down there. And maybe next time I'll watch something that isn't so goddamn dark. Oh boy. Until next time.